Hello mon petit chauffeur, Amber here, and welcome to another Books of the Month video. It is now August, which means it's time to talk about what I read through July. And I actually read somewhat in July. I'm still working my way out of the book slump, but I read more than one book. I finished more than one book this month, so that's good. Now, the first book I read, I'm gonna try not to babble too much. The first book I read this month is a book I have been working through since about March or April. And it is The Host by Stephanie Meyer. The Host is a sci-fi novel that takes place in the future, obviously. It's about, here we go, I found notes. Sci-fi novel set after an alien invasion where the human race has been, what's that say? Wiped out, and our body's taken. Wanda is put into Melanie, who, to everyone's surprise, is still very much alive and present. Wanda leaves her world behind, and Melanie leads her to her Uncle Jeb to find her brother and boyfriend. To her Uncle Jeb and his compound of what's left of humanity. Obviously, they initially think Wanda is there to harm them, but this is the story of her survival, fitting in, and learning to love and be loved. It's also the persistence of love and what it means to be human. Got that directly from the book. So I figured it'd be fun because I had a lot of thoughts about this book. Not a lot of them were pleasant. So I figured it'd be fun to read exactly as I wrote. I have a few pages worth of notes just at my thought process, my raw thought process reading this book. First of all, I do want to say I had a lot of hope for this book because I'm one of the people in this world that did not hate the Twilight Saga. So I'm like, okay, Stephanie, I'm going to let you prove to me that you are a great author and can crank out another series or book, because this is a standalone book, that will draw me in as much as Twilight did. Let's read Amber's thoughts. Okay. It says dislikes and problems. I think that's everything. Mel and Jared insta love. Yeah, that was really annoying because a lot of it takes place in some of it takes place in flashbacks where Melanie is going over her memories, feeding her memories to Wanda. The story of how they met and instantly fell in love was really weird to me. Her and Jared. It was, I guess, it was unrealistic. The different world and hosts. Fire world, really? Okay. What bothered me a lot was that when because Wanda has been to a lot of different worlds and been a inhabited host on different worlds, but like all the names for the worlds were really unoriginal and childish. Because the descriptions and names of the worlds show no real effort, and the Earth names with bizarre features, it all seems messy and childish, like a child making up a story. Yeah, it felt like when you let a kid read and they're like, and she had 4 wings and a nose that was like a Windex bottle. I'm just looking at a Windex bottle, and 97 wings but 4 feet. It was really not creative, I guess. It was like she was trying to be creative but not being creative. Feels like a YA book where it's supposed to be targeted at adults. Exactly. This book, where'd it go? This book is supposed to be an adult book, and it absolutely did not feel like an adult book. It's literally a YA book that says adult book. Try again, staff. So slow and overly descriptive at times. I think that's self-explanatory. Nothing to do with the actual book. But actors on cover, not how I picture them. I like Saoirse, though. True, I do like Saoirse Ronan. I've been a fan of hers for a while. But yeah, when I was reading the books, these people are not how I pictured them at all. I have seen the movie since reading the book. I watched it the other day. Okay. Pro. I have a pro. Jamie is adorable and reminds me of Fetus Bay from Once Upon a Time. The only character I really liked in this book was Jamie. I think he's cute. Maybe I just am prone to liking children in books, or like the younger siblings. But he does remind me a lot of little baby Balefire, teenage preteen Balefire from Once Upon a Time. If you don't watch that show, you have no idea what I'm talking about. So sorry, Jared kissed Wanda / Mel when 2 seconds ago he wouldn't even look at her, but it's okay. But it's okay because it's a test. Spoiler alert. I guess I should have started with saying that. That was really bizarre to me. I'm going to test to see if Melanie's inside Wanda, even though I didn't want to look at her or acknowledge that she is a she. I called her an it for a really long time, but I'm going to kiss her to see if Melanie's really in there. But what if she's not, Jared? Okay, next point. Melanie is so annoying and whiny. OMG, how could he? Blah blah blah. I don't remember if I addressed this anymore in the book, but it's like Stephanie was trying really hard to make a character that wasn't as pointless, basically, as Bella. I don't like the whole needing Jared to feel safe thing. Very damsel in distress, very Bella. There's that. I think that's self-explanatory. I'm really okay. Mel's obsession with Jared is on my nerves. Clearly, I don't like this. This book is so upsettingly predictable. That is a problem I had with the book. It was very predictable. You could see where it was going a mile away. Slight spoiler alert, not really. Love Square, really? Steph, really? Yeah, like she was trying to up herself because, you know, people talk about the love triangle of Twilight. So she's like, you know what? I'm gonna go with a love square. And I'm like, first of all, I called that when I started reading the book. Second of all, is that necessary? Third of all, why? Why are you like this? I do like Ian though, sort of. That didn't last very long. Ian is a better character than Jared, but not by much. Neither of them really has any personality. Oh, this is my favorite part. Okay. This is a direct quote from the book, so if you think this is spoilery, please just skip ahead. Quote, "The body and the person locked inside it belong to me." Then I wrote, "I despise Jared and Ian talking about Mel / Wanda as if she / they are property. Belong with me and to me are two different things. You're mine and you belong to me are two different things." I said, we won't pretend Wanda isn't a millipede type thing. She's literally a bug, so I don't. Spoiler alert. I'm going to put down here where to skip to because I don't know how long I'm going to talk, but it says, Ian claims he understands the confusion and will give her time to sort out her feelings. 1, why does he assume that she feels the same way about him? But 2, he spends the next, I don't know, a few minutes trying to get a reaction out of her by touching and kissing her, but gets jealous because she doesn't react the same as she does with Jared. A lot of this book seems to be about the definition of humanity and what it means to be human. Being peaceful and honest is different from being weak. Sometimes it's human to be angry or defend yourself from murder. Not making excuses. Wanda's approach to the I don't know what that says. They're every other to Kyle. Or every other person that has hurt her or mistreats her is a little unhealthy. I think that's very self-explanatory also without giving too much away. It's unhealthy. It's not normal. Everything towards the end of the book is way too easy. I'm not going to give anything away again. But also, because I have another spoiler right after that, so once again I'll put a number to time to skip to. Ian manhandles her to the point of pain and numbness in her arms, but it's okay. Sweet Lord. As if Wanderer couldn't get any more weak and annoying. I don't have anything else to say about that. It's just, I don't get it. He literally was like dragging her and gripping her and like, it was, I guess abusive. I want to say abusive. It was very borderline abusive, if not abusive. And she's like, it's okay, I understand. What? I did get a bit emotional at the almost end, but I think it's only because it was like 2 a.m. My last thing I'll say about this book. Weak, pushover, peaceful women, possessive, overbearing men. Excellent. Well, as you can tell, I loved The Host. It was such a great book, and it's definitely my top 5. Like I said, I had so much hope for this book. I wanted to love it as much as I love Twilight. Now, I'm not saying I love Twilight like I love a lot of other books. It's not like a work of literary genius. It's not even The Hunger Games. The Hunger Games is like my favorite series, like YA or otherwise. But I don't hate it, and I for the most part I really do like it a lot. I like the story, I like the concept. I hate Bella, but there's that. I think I didn't write this down. I thought I did, but I said I never thought I'd see the day where I hated a character as much, if not more, than I hated Bella. So there's that. So then after I finished that, thank God I finally finished that, I went on and read this book, Cinderella's Dress by Shauna Slayton. I didn't hate this one. This book takes place during World War II in New York, I believe. Kate, who's, I think she's 17 at the start of the book, works in a department store with her mom. Her mom's pushing her to be model / actress, this, that, and the other. Her relatives, her aunt, uncle, great aunt, and uncle, escaped from Poland and temporarily move into her house. And Kate finds out that for generations, her family has been tasked with keeping and protecting Cinderella's ball gown. Well, not ball gown. Gowns. Wedding dress, ball gown, and like maid dress. And then Kate is most likely going to be the next keeper. Her grandmother had chosen her to be the next keeper. Her grandmother, who is her Aunt Elsie's sister. So it's a story of, I guess it's not her really becoming the keeper. I guess it's her, I know it's the first book in the series. So I guess it's her learning about the history of their family and their connection to the Kopushek. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's probably not how you pronounce it, but that's Cinderella's name in the story, I guess her Polish name. But I guess it's also sort of a coming of age story, because during the process of this dress being in her life, she learns about like responsibility, and she grows up, and there's Johnny. I don't even know how to incorporate him in the timeline, but there's Johnny. I will say, these are the few notes I took on this book. One, the timeline is, while I like the book, the timeline is a little confusing. Kate's mom says that Elsie and Adelbert only stayed with them for a few weeks, when surely it was months. And then after that, it definitely wasn't years that passed. It absolutely was not years. Like 1 minute, they're living at the house and they move out, and then all of a sudden it's like 3 years later. It's like, what do you mean? You can't just time cut and not make the reader aware that there is a time cut. I think that's just really bizarre. And there are just some points where it just feels like it's not focused enough on what the book is actually about. Like, the book's supposed to be about Kate being the keeper of the dress, or I guess the process of her becoming the keeper of the dress, and there's a lot of time revolved around, I guess, not that. Whether it's her and Johnny's relationship, which I don't know. I don't know. That seemed really a little rushed also. I guess because he was, with the time cut again, I was gonna say, in basic training when he got drafted for the wars. Like 1 minute he and her brother are in basic training, then the war's over, and I'm like, whoa. So it's like almost not enough time to, once again, like the Host, to develop a connection with the characters, because everything's moving. I guess where that book moved to, so this one just moved really fast, and so that was one of the main things that I found frustrating. That, and Kate was a little bit immature. Just the situation that she, without spoiling anything, the situation that she put herself in the dresses in was really irresponsible. And I guess for the ending of the book, I guess in theory it was necessary to lead, and also to lead into the sequel. That being said, it I liked the book, obviously, because it didn't take me that long to finish it. It was also a very easy read, and I'm most likely going to read the sequel. According to Goodreads, it looks like there are more positive reviews of the sequel than there were. I'm not saying there weren't a lot of negative reviews of the book, but people seem to like the sequel a lot more. And I'm hoping with that one it's going more into her actually being the keeper of the dress, and I think she's supposed to be going on a quest for the shoes in that one. It's hard to explain without giving too much away, and I've done spoiler city a little bit with the host review, so I'm going to try to rein it in. For the most part, it was a good book, and I have high hopes for where it could go with the future book/books. So those are the books I read. Yes, there are only 2, but considering the slump I've been in, that's good, and considering that the first book I finished this month was one I've honestly been reading or trying to get through since March. That being said, I'm currently reading this book, Jacoby by William Ritter. I'm not that far into it. From what I gather, it's about the main character, Abigail, who teams up with, what is his name? What is his first name? R.F. Jacoby, who is kind of like, he studies sort of the paranormal and the supernatural. He has like psychic abilities, and she has like a non-psychic but sleuthing abilities, and they sort of team up to solve where it seems like you want to think serial killer, but I guess it's like a supernatural version of serial killer. The book describes it as Doctor Who meets Sherlock. Yeah, I think the cover looks pretty cool too. I'm really trying to zip through the box of books from Book Outlet still. I also need to place a new order for Book Outlet. There were poetry books half off yesterday, and I was really upset about it. Those are my books of the month. Definitely leave me book suggestions down below, books you think I should read and review, or just read that you think I would enjoy. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like me, feel free to subscribe. All my places are in there, so we can be buds, and I'll see you very soon.